I call Dr. Jackie Blue.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm pleased to be speaking to the first reading of the Road User Charges Bill. The purpose of this bill is to update the Road User Charges, or RUC system. Mr Speaker, the RUC system is well over 30 years old, and it's quite timely that it has undergone review. The current situation is that all users of New Zealand roads contribute towards their upkeep. Most road users pay levies in the price of their fuel, but others, such as the users of diesel-powered vehicles, pay through road user charges. All the revenue that is collected from road user charges goes into the National Land Transport Fund. The road user charges are administered by the NZ Transport Agency, or NZTA, and enforced by the New Zealand Police. This bill, Mr Speaker, is the outcome of the recommendations of the independent review of the New Zealand road user charging system. This independent review group was appointed in August 2008 to review New Zealand's RUC system in response to concerns that had been raised by road transport industry following RUC increases in July 2008. And the review certainly considered the way in which the Ministry of Transport's cost allocation model between road users and whether the RUC system should be replaced by alternative revenue collection methods. And it was quite a comprehensive review. In total, there were 33 recommendations that were made covering all aspects of the RUC system. And after due consideration, the Government has accepted the recommendations that the RUC system be retained, simplified and modernised rather than replaced with a diesel tax, which would impose costs on non-transport users. And when the recommendations were released, the Minister did announce that it was intended there should be an internet-based RUC purchase system, which would reduce compliance costs and risk of evasion. That certainly has happened in this bill. There's provision for that, and it's, for this day and age, it's quite a timely move, and it's long overdue. But let's face it, over 30 years ago, when this the original bill was became law, really the internet didn't exist. So we're here and now we can make the appropriate changes. Mr Speaker, in keeping with the Government's focus on promoting a RUC system that is fair, balanced and well managed, just prior to the release of the recommendation, just the week before in fact, there was a law that was passed requirement that 6 weeks' notice should be given of RUC increases so the transport operators could plan and budget accordingly, and that has happened, and this move has been well received. Mr Speaker, the main provisions of this bill include a change to the definition of the weight of the vehicle weight, removal of the time licence system and modernisation of the list of vehicles exempted from road user charges, an improved regulatory framework for electronic management systems, and a fairer, simpler and less costly structure in relation to offences and penalties, particularly for light vehicles. And really this bill is all about bringing the RUC system into modern day practices, and it's about reducing compliance costs for transport operators and ultimately reducing transport costs for our businesses and exporters, which in turn will make it easier for this sector to go about its business, and that can only be a good thing for the economy. The changes will make the system easier to understand and fairer for those who pay RUC, and I certainly commend this bill to the House. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Yeah.